The Free Thinker Show. Ignite your mind, challenge the norm.
All right, so today we're diving into something pretty wild. You know how we love to unpack these crazy topics. We're talking about Tucci, and no, it's not some new fancy food or anything. This is serious stuff. You might have heard this term floating around lately. It's been in the news with all that P. Diddy stuff and those party allegations. Turns out Tucci is making headlines, and it's not what you think.
Yeah, you're right about that. It's definitely not as innocent as it sounds. It's often disguised as pink cocaine, or they call it TCB. It's like they're trying to make it sound glamorous, like some kind of party favor.
Right. It's totally deceptive, like a dangerous illusion. So let's just cut to the chase. What exactly is Tucci?
Well, that's the thing about Tucci. The ingredients are always changing. It's like a dangerous game of roulette with what people are putting in their bodies. It's like walking into a pharmacy, grabbing a bunch of pills from different bottles, and then just swallowing them all at once. You have no clue what you're taking or how it's all going to interact. That's Tucci.
Okay, so we're not just talking about your average drug here. It's like a chaotic mix of different substances all thrown together. What kind of stuff are we talking about?
Think about those common party drugs like MDMA, ketamine, cocaine. Those often form the base. But then it takes a turn for the worse. We're talking super strong opioids like fentanyl, the kind of stuff that can make you black out like GHB. And the scary part is they're not combined in any kind of controlled or predictable way.
So it's not even just the individual dangers of each drug. It's the totally unpredictable way they could all interact together in your body.
Exactly. Our bodies are incredibly complex systems. When you throw all these different substances in there, it's like setting off a chain reaction with totally unknown consequences.
It's actually really scary to think about. People are basically walking around like ticking time bombs. They have no idea what's really in their system.
And that's just scratching the surface. Let's look at a simple example. Mixing cocaine and alcohol, people do it all the time. They think it's harmless fun. What they don't realize is that inside the body, those two substances combine to create a whole new compound. It's called cocathylene.
Cocathylene? That doesn't sound good.
It's not good at all. Cocathylene is like cocaine on steroids. It's way more euphoric, but it's also way more toxic. The risks of heart attack, overdose, and long-term damage, they all skyrocket when you mix those two.
And that's just with two substances. We're talking about Tucci being a cocktail of like 4 or 5 different things sometimes.
Exactly. With Tucci, you're multiplying those risks exponentially. You're basically taking a sledgehammer to your body's delicate machinery. And hoping for the best, there's just no telling what kind of damage it might cause. Imagine mixing uppers and downers. It's like slamming on the gas and the brake in your car at the same time. Your body just can't handle that kind of stress.
It's kind of like you're messing with your heart's wiring or something. But it's not even just the physical stuff we got to worry about, right? With this whole mystery cocktail thing with Tucci, it just feels like it could be used for something way worse.
Yeah, you're totally right. The really scary part about Tucci goes way beyond just the physical effects. Remember how we were talking about MDMA and how it can make you more trusting? And ketamine can make you feel detached from your body? Now imagine those effects, but amplified, because you've also got GHB and opioids in the mix.
Oh, wow. So you're saying that on top of all the physical risks, Tucci could actually make someone easier to take advantage of.
That's the danger, especially GHB. When it's combined with other substances like it is in Tucci, it can make someone incredibly susceptible to suggestion. Add in those dissociative effects from the ketamine, plus the feeling of euphoria from the opioids. It's a recipe for disaster.
It's seriously messed up. It's like someone could completely lose control of their own decisions.
And that's why we're seeing Tucci being linked to so many horrible things. Things like sexual assault robbery, even human trafficking. This isn't just about people making reckless choices anymore. It's about the potential for someone to be taken advantage of when they're basically incapacitated and not in control.
This is honestly turning into a public health nightmare the more we talk about it. And what really gets me is that with Tucci, there's literally no way to know what you're getting right.
Nope. It's like playing a game with no rules and no instructions, and the consequences could be deadly. That's Tucci in a nutshell. You're totally in the dark about the dosage, the purity, the interactions. It's a gamble every single time.
It's just incredibly dangerous. And honestly, it's just so sad. It feels like we should be talking about this way more, raising awareness about how bad this stuff is so we can try to stop these horrible things from happening.
I agree 100%. We always talk about harm reduction on this show, things like those reagent testing kits. But those things don't really work with Tucci because it's just too complex and it's always changing.
So what can people even do? Let's say you're at a party and you see this pink powder going around. What's the most important takeaway we can give people today?
I think the most important thing is awareness. People need to know that this isn't just pink cocaine. It's not just a different kind of high. It's a dangerous cocktail of God knows what. And no amount of coolness or peer pressure is worth risking your life over.
It's wild, right? This one substance, Tucci, it's like the poster child for risky behavior.
It really shows how important it is to know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
Think about it. The pharmaceutical industry spends years and years researching drugs. They do all these trials just to figure out how drugs interact. It's all about ensuring they're safe and effective. But Tucci throws all of that out the window.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's like comparing, I don't know, like a gourmet chef who spends years perfecting a recipe versus someone who just throws a bunch of random stuff in a pot and hopes for the best. Except in this case, the stakes are way higher. We're talking about people's lives.
Exactly. And you know what really gets me? All comes back to those P. Diddy allegations. Imagine you're at one of these parties, music's blasting, everyone's hyped up, and then someone offers you this pink powder. They tell you, oh, it's just like cocaine, but better. It's the new thing. You got to try it.
Oh, yeah. I totally see how people would fall for that, especially in that kind of environment. There's that social pressure. It's like this whole marketing scheme. It's pink, it's new, it's exclusive.
Exactly. It plays on those deep-seated desires we all have. The need to belong, the desire for pleasure, the urge to let loose and have a good time. But the truth is, with Tucci, you're basically putting your life in someone else's hands. The person who mixed that powder, they have all the control. You're just along for the ride.
That's a terrifying thought. Something that seems so harmless, even fun, can actually be used to hurt people.
Exactly. And that's the conversation we need to be having. It's not enough to just say, don't do drugs. We need to be real about the dangers of something like Tucci, how easy it is to manipulate people with it, and how crucial it is for people to be able to make informed decisions about what they're putting in their bodies.
Knowledge is power, right?
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
In this case, knowing what you're dealing with could save your life.
For real. So let's leave everyone with this. If you or someone you know might be in a situation with Tucci, please be careful. Remember what we talked about today. Stay informed, make smart choices, and look out for each other. That's it for today's deep dive. Until next time, stay curious, everyone, and stay safe.